Well, here we are, week 2 of the lockdown in the UK, and I'm about to start Archtop number 4. I hope that you're all keeping well and safe. It's difficult to actually get your head around this situation, isn't it? I'm just starting this new project, and at the back of your mind you can't help thinking, actually, am I going to finish it? I mean, both Amanda and I have what the government are describing as underlying health conditions, so you can't help thinking, blimey, am I ever going to get this finished? But there you go, you've got to get your head together, you know, try to keep sane in this very strangest of times, and get on the best you can. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do, and hopefully you might get a bit of enjoyment and a bit of a distraction out of these videos. So off we go. Okay, so what we have here is a board of pommele sapele. I was fortunate enough to buy this, I guess about 16 months ago, from a dealer who was closing down. So he had it for literally years. You don't often see this pommele sapele in board form, because normally it's cut up for veneers because it's so decorative. But this, I'm hoping, and you can underline that word hoping, to use for the back and sides on this archtop. Right, so I need to prepare this into backs and sides, and obviously I want to get as much out of it as I possibly can. This lump of wood was really quite expensive, so the more instruments I can get out of it, the better. The ends were coated in wax. I've cut the ends off, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that it's almost on the quarter. You won't be able to see it, but what I mean by on the quarter is that the annual rings are almost perpendicular to the surface. So that's going to mean that the wood itself should be quite stable. There is this weird kind of defect here. I've seen it before in sapele. It looks like there's a crack which then somebody's tried to fill with brummer, so whether it might be some kind of mineral deposit, I'm not 100% sure. So the plan is I'm going to cut it across there so I get an idea of where this is going. Having cut that, I'm going to cut a strip off the side here, and that strip is going to be for sides. And I'm going to prepare some sides and try to bend those first. This would be being incredibly figurative, incredibly curly, also means it's going to be a swine to bend. So what I want to know is, before I go any further, can I get sides out of it? If the answer is yes, well then this area will give me my my backs. And what I'll have to do is I'll have to split that by hand, as you may have seen me do with the walnut archtop that I made a while ago. So that's the plan. If it doesn't work out, well, then what I'll do is I'll use this figured pommele sapele for some electric mandolins, and plan B for archtop number 4 will be to make it out of this lovely mahogany that you would have seen before on the first archtop that I made. So off we jolly well go. So here's one of the sides, the others in soak. The bending iron's getting hot, so I'm going to have a go to see whether or not I can bend the sides successfully. I've demonstrated this before, so I'm not going to get too involved telling you what's happening. I'm just going to do this and focus on what I'm doing. So that's the first side bent, and I must admit it went better than I had anticipated, so absolutely no problems. So I'll put the second one in soak, go and have a celebratory cup of tea, and get that one bent. So the next part of the test, if you like, is to split this, open it up, and see whether or not this is usable for at least one, fingers crossed, 2 archtop bags. So what I'm trying to do is on each of the corners I'm going to start off with using this razor saw. The curve on it is meant to be, I think, where is it? 0.3 of a millimetre. So really fine cut, and I'm hoping, clearly I can't do it all with this, but I'm hoping what that will do is it will be a kind of a centre when I use one of the bigger saws. There you go. Exactly 1 hour and it's done. And at the moment, I must admit, it's looking pretty good. That defect I was worried about, that's nowhere near it. No, quite happy with that at the moment. Fantastic. Well, the sides are bent. They're just clamped into the mould whilst they're drying out. So that was my first concern addressed. Managed to cut the wood for the back. As it happens, probably get 2 backs out of it. So that's that concern addressed. So as they say, game on. Looks like we're going to make a pommel sapele mandolin. So more anon, and in the meantime, you'll keep safe, look after yourselves, and hopefully we'll all be together in the next video. Okay, cheers then.